Hey folks, Nick Moon here, Tone Proper AV. I know I usually say that I'm deep in the bunker, but I'm actually here at a church, customer of ours, actually my home church over at Rise, that has the famed Allen and Heath ghosting fader issue. I didn't see any videos, and so I thought I would just make one since I'm here on location. Here we have our Allen Heath Avantis with D-Pack. What you'll see here is I am actually face down. You can see the desk here is face down. I removed this bumper plate, but you don't actually have to. First thing you're going to want to do is get yourself a see, I'm getting old, guys. T7. And as you see here, there's a whole bunch of T7s, and it's going to lift off. There's a pivot point right there. So what you're going to do, well, first of all, you got to get replacement fader banks from Allen and Heath, and what they're going to do is they're going to tell you to replace them, do a firmware update, and then do a fader calibration. So we're going to go through all of that hopefully here. There's a pastor's breakfast here tomorrow morning, so this is slightly suspect, and if I need to jump ship, I will. So what you're going to do, I've already taken off those T7s that go all the way around. And under the hood there, you'll see the fans. The first thing you're going to need to do is unplug those fans, because that's the actual only thing keeping this on. So I'm going to do that right now and set you down. So our next step is going to be cutting some zip ties that are holding all this on. And the only thing that's holding these fader banks in is, if I go back underneath, you'll see, sorry, the lighting isn't very good. This is why you always wear a headlamp. But the T7s that are on each fader, that's actually what's holding these fader banks on. So so I'm gonna hop on here and cut some zip ties and get these guys all loosened up. Back in a minute. One little side note here, let me get my headlamp on. If you're not familiar with working with some of these small, delicate connectors, don't just go yanking on this wire. There's a push button right there. You push that and pull, and that will get that connector out of there. Same here, just like if anyone's familiar with doing automotive, it's a similar type situation. Don't just go yanking on these cables, because you will damage them. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so we've got all the connectors disconnected, as you can see here. So I haven't unscrewed the faders yet, because I had a feeling they might fall out inside and then it might be messy. So now that this is open, what I did is a little plan here is I put some masking tape, and you knuckleheads down south, don't go putting duct tape on there. You're going to regret it. Anyway, I just put some masking tape, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the console back onto its back. So XLR side down, or up, down, so that it's facing up, so I can unscrew each fader bank individually and all that. I don't have a cameraman. I'm in the field today by myself. Everyone's out doing stuff. So that's why I keep stopping and starting. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to tip the console up, and then I'll show you how that went. Okay, status update. The whole tape thing was stupid. Don't do that. Just disconnect the fans. There's 3 quick connects there to disconnect. You will have exposed the bottoms when you tip it back over. I just put my official Tone Proper sweatshirt underneath to make sure that nothing touches the circuit boards below. So what we're going to do now is take off all the fader caps, and as you can see from there, and then what we'll start doing is releasing all of these T7s, and I'll be back with that. Let me turn my headlamp off. All right, so after you take all those T7s off the top, basically the fader board just plops right out, if you can see that. So that is fader bank 1. All right, so now with the console tilted up like this, I basically have my right hand holding the fader bank on, and then with my left hand, I am putting a couple screws in to secure the fader bank. I don't think I have a good place to set my phone, sorry, but that's working out really well to do that right now. So that is what it looks like from that angle. So we're still on the first bank, and we're going to just basically repeat that for the second bank. All right, I got the first bank screwed back into place. You can see here, feels nice. I won't plug everything in until I do both sides. So I am now going to start on the right side bank. I'm just going to repeat the same process. I'm just going to unscrew all the T7s across the top, and I will have my hand ready on here to catch it, because definitely when you get to that last screw, it's gone. So you got to keep a hand on it. So that's why we didn't undo those screws first, because I just would have hit the back of the pan, which I guess is fine if you want to do it that way, but I don't know. I think it's probably nice to just do it this way. To each their own. All right, next side. One quick word to the wise. These little T7s, if you have to apply any sort of torque, you're going to strip the screw and it's going to suck. So they should go in. That's why I always use these little teeny screwdrivers, because you'll feel it if you have to do any torque, because they got to be lined up and right. So something to watch out for. Okay, that's a lot of T7s. We are installed, as you can see here. So one thing I do, which I recommend, is taking a picture before you get started while everything's still connected, and then I cross-reference that with, once I think I'm done and I plug everything in, I look at that photo, study it, make sure that I have every connector on, and then it's going to go back together. So I'm going to dive into that. I'm going to reposition the console so that it's not tilted up like this anymore. I will put it back face down, and then I'll reference that photo to see if I can get it all back together. Okay, I think I've got it. Just for note, there are a total of one, so you can see, that looks like power. There's a USB connection, power and USB. So it's basically 2 connectors per fader bank. There were zip ties at these corners here, and I don't think there was one here. I'll check my photo, but you can correct me in the comments. But yeah, so that's where the zip ties were, and that's the 2 connections. And then of course the fans, there's 3 fans and 3 connections. Those fan connections are so looking at the back of this is the right side, that's fan far right. And then the 2 other fan connections are, I'll look at my photo, but it's right up, underneath here. Yeah, I was looking at it upside down. Right, I don't know if you can see, but the other 2 fan connections are right down there. And hopefully that was visible. This is obviously a tone proper low budget video, but I noticed there wasn't any videos, and I was doing the service call today, and I thought I would just, I'm using my phone, so apologize for the low budget stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna get this plugged in, and then we will work on fader calibration and firmware updates if needed. Okay, so one last very important thing is you're gonna have to bust out your soldering iron. So don't panic. Here's the deal. These are left and right, but you'll see on my old faders right here, it says left and right, and there's a jumper of solder going across the right. And on this one, it's on the left side, piece of solder across there. Now this is from the orientation looking down in the mixed position of your desk. The new ones, so I've installed these guys, and you can see the solder is broken. It's not, they both say left and they've been cut. So you will have to, so I will have to put a piece of solder across those 2 points. So this one is left and that one is right, because that's how I'm looking at it. I'm from behind right now. So if you turn it on right now, it'll say, I don't see any faders. It'll say like missing fader bank or something like that, and an error screen when you log in. So I'm gonna heat up the old trusty Dremel butane soldering iron and get to work. Back in a minute. All right, so there's my little piece of the solder on the right and on the left. Gonna double check all my connections. All right, as you can see, we are back to faders. It's recommended to do a fader calibration, which I'm going to do right now. But all in all, that was pretty straight ahead. That was, I mean, besides making this dumb video, it was probably an hour-ish worth of work. The console was under warranty. We sold this customer this console, and they're on a service contract, so it was all free to them. But it was easy. It was easy work. So hopefully this video helps you. And anyway, if anyone's ever in need, you know, we're here to help as well. So that is it. The Allen and Heath Fader swap. Have a good one.